So you may or may not know this about me, but I'm actually a superhero. Yeah, I know it's kind of a well-guarded secret, so don't feel bad if you didn't know. But my ability consists of being able to raise the salt levels in Xbox players, and I'm gonna show you and demonstrate that for you in this video right here. So what's going on, guys? My birth name is Dustin, but you guys may know me by my commentator superhero name that is Pwn Star. And if you enjoy the content and found this video useful, be sure to subscribe. Stay tuned for future awesome stuff. So I regretfully admit that this cheese, this awesome opportunity given to us today, is only available to PlayStation users. You can only do this in the Echo Chamber exclusive strike for PlayStation users located on Venus, which means you cannot kill the restorative mine on Xbox, which means you do not have the opportunity to farm for one of the greatest guns in the game, and more importantly, it's an extremely effective legendary farming method as well. It continuously keeps the Vanguard buff running, and you can trigger drops every 1.5 to 2 minutes. So lots of opportunities for the Imago loop right here, and if you're wondering what the Imago loop is, I've got a video down in the description of this one. The Imago loop is arguably the best PvE hand cannon in the game. You could build a Fatebringer 2.0 with it. You can have one of the greatest hand cannons in the game for PvP as well. There's quite a few builds. So if you want to know what to look for when doing this farm, check no further. So let's talk about the big stuff. Now, the process of this is basically you need to do what the old 3 of Coins farm was. Basically, you lead the creature till he's almost dead, and then you end up dying right before he does, so it triggers the darkness, it starts all over again, and you continue the boss fight one after another after another. So the way you do this is simple. You come in here, you kill all of the ads. After killing the ads, you have to sit behind this little half pillar in a certain position, and you kind of got to form this little human centipede. Don't act like you've never tried it. Don't knock it. And you line up face to ass, and you have to keep him in this area, and he stays open, he stays vulnerable. You can continuously pile on the damage for him, and then when he gets just a little bit too low, you run around, you grab the orb, forcing him to start his pathing when you cash it in. And at that point, people have lined up the trip mines on the floor. He starts his pathing, you're all dead, and then he blows himself up just before the curtain closes. So yeah, it takes a little bit to get underway, and that's not all she wrote. There are a few things. There is, in fact, a cheese checklist that you need to follow, guys. So step number 1, there needs to be 3 players. This can be match made. People can join in randomly, and when they do that, they're going to complete the strike as usual. They may not be doing it this way, so you risk having to do this over and over and over again, so you need to bring in 2 of your friends with you. Step number 2, you all have to be hunters. More importantly, you need to be gunslingers. Step 3, you all need to have the young Ahamkara spine, or at least 2 of you guys. I guess you could technically do this with 2 people if they're competent enough, but you need to have the young Ahamkara spine. That exotic gauntlet piece allows you to carry 2 trip mines, and it also helps the trip mines last longer. I know, right? If only I had that in real life. Oh god, that would help. So, it extends the duration, it allows you to carry up to 2 of them, it's super functional, and as you're a gunslinger, you also have the ability inside of your skill tree for the gunslinger to equip Scavenger, where picking up ammo also increases the cooldowns of your grenades and melee, so that's exciting too. So if you gotta run Gunslinger, you have to have that exotic gauntlet piece that is the young Ahamkara spine, and you want to equip the Scavenger perk on your Gunslinger tree, and you will be able to run through this. So again, just watch the pattern, watch what we do, and you can see that this wall just rakes in the stuff for you too. You don't even have to go run, but, you know, I just think it's more romantic that way. It's like a dog, you know, it kind of fetches it for you, except for it doesn't shit on the floor. So that little wall brings it for you, and they just keep piling up over and over and over again. As I said before, the Vanguard buff stays active, so you get an increased chance of legendaries. I feel like I did this for a couple hours, walked away with 10 or 15 legendary Engrams on top of the opportunities of the Imago loops. I got a few of those as well. Not to mention, you can also get the Theosian gauntlets as well, exclusive for the Warlocks from this strike. So if you have any questions on how to do this, anything like that, feel free to leave it in the comment section or hit me up on Twitter or anything like that. But a final summary, what you need 3 hunters, 3 of which are all on your team. You need to be able to communicate, and you don't want randoms joining, so you got to do this with 3 people. You need the young Ahamkara's exotic piece for the gauntlets. You also want to equip Scavenger in the Gunslinger tree. Last but not least, you follow this method. You sit behind this pillar right here. He stays open. He stays vulnerable. You get him to right to where he's about to die. And this part is important. This is the only location in the room that keeps him open and vulnerable, so you can actually whittle his health down. So it's important that you do this, and I'm going to show you through exactly what I do. I grab the orb. We go ahead and we rotate around. Pro tip, when you're laying your trip mines, it is important to kind of create a small little blockade. You see that crack in the middle of the room, the kind of rotation that he goes on? It's a circular room. You got to put him to the right of that, basically where you just saw us pile them up. The two guys kill themselves outside of the runner. Now, as the runner, I activate it, wait for him to open up and start his pathing, instantly look at the ground, and meet it with a rocket. So yeah, I guess I forgot to mention one thing on the cheese checklist. You're probably going to need a couple heavy ammo sets. Not a lot, because the creatures and the goblins will spawn a few, but it's straightforward. You got to stand still, you got to line up during that phase, you got to hide behind that half pillar, and you continue the motions. Super smooth and easy process. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found the video useful, leave a like, subscribe if you're new here, and have a great evening.